Hi, boys and girls. So this article is called The British Empire, Mohandas K. Gandhi. And this is a nonfiction text that I'm going to read to you, and then we're going to go through the questions together. So it says, Mohandas K. Gandhi was one of the greatest leaders of the 1900s. He helped free India from British colonial rule without using violence. Gandhi's courage and morals won respect throughout the world. So did the methods of nonviolent resistance he used to gain Indian independence. Today, the people of India consider Gandhi the father of their nation. Gandhi was born in 1869 in Western India. As a child, Gandhi was rebellious. Once, he stole some jewelry from his brother. But Gandhi had a strong conscience. He confessed to his father. Gandhi expected anger and punishment. Instead, his father cried. Gandhi felt even worse. From then on, he understood the power of nonviolence. He would later write about the story. Those pearl drops of love cleansed my heart. Gandhi studied law in England. Soon after, he went to South Africa to do some legal work. It was there that Gandhi felt the sting of prejudice firsthand. Like India, South Africa was also a British colony. Gandhi had been asked to give up his seat on a train by a European person. When Gandhi refused, he was arrested by British police and badly beaten. He did not fight back with his fists or weapons. Instead, he vowed to work peacefully to change unjust laws that didn't protect a person's rights. In 1914, Gandhi returned to India. British laws there were unjust, placing many Indians at an economic disadvantage. For example, by law, Indians could only buy goods made in British factories. To protect the system, to protest the system, Gandhi stopped wearing cloth made in Britain. Instead, he spun his own cloth from Indian cotton. He encouraged others to do the same. The boycott worked. It hurt British clothing sales in India. It also allowed Indians to sell more of their own cloth. With more income, they wouldn't be as poor. Gandhi also fought British injustice by fasting. He would refuse to eat for 5 or 6 days. Gandhi's fast drew public attention to his cause. Newspapers and the public began to sympathize with Gandhi. They put pressure on the British government to change its ways. Gandhi spent 7 years in jail because of his political activities. To him, it was honorable to be jailed for a good cause. He continued his non-violent protest in disobedience to British rule. He had faith that truth and nonviolence would win in the end. In 1947, Britain finally bowed to Gandhi's peaceful pressure. India was finally granted independence. Sadly, Gandhi was assassinated for his beliefs in 1948. Years later, Martin Luther King Jr. would use Gandhi's nonviolent ways to protest injustice in America. Gandhi is remembered to this day as Mahatma. The word means great soul. These are the comprehension questions that go along with this article. So number 1, according to the text, what did Gandhi help free from British colonial rule? So what did he help free from British colonial rule? The answer is India. Okay, so he helped the country of India gain its freedom from the British colonial rule. Okay. 2, what was the effect of Gandhi fasting to fight British injustice? So we have A, Gandhi's father cried, making Gandhi feel bad. No, that had nothing to do with him fasting, right? Not eating for a while. Gandhi was arrested, badly beaten by the British police. No, not because he was refusing to eat. Indians were able to sell more of their own cloth. That doesn't make sense. That has nothing to do with eating food. And so the answer has to be D. Newspapers and the public began to sympathize with Gandhi. Read these sentences from the text. As a child, Gandhi was rebellious. Once he stole some jewelry from his brother, but Gandhi had a strong conscience. He confessed to his father. Gandhi expected anger and punishment. Instead, his father cried. Gandhi felt even worse. From then on, he understood the power of nonviolence. He would later write about the story. Those pearl drops of love cleansed my heart. It says, what can you conclude about Gandhi from this evidence? So the answer is C, the reaction of Gandhi's father when he confessed to stealing from this brother inspired his beliefs about the power of not using violence. So he realized that he was expecting anger and a punishment from his father, but somehow when his father just started crying, somehow Gandhi was like, whoa, this is like the worst punishment ever, right? So his father was like disappointed in him and just showed tears instead of violence. And so from that moment, Gandhi realized that you can make a big impact on somebody without having to be violent to that person. Number 4, read these sentences from the text. In 1947, Britain finally bowed to Gandhi's peaceful pressure. India was finally granted independence. So it says, based on the text, what does peaceful pressure refer to? So we've got either his legal work in South Africa, his nonviolent protests and disobedience, his imprisonment, or his status as one of the greatest leaders of the 1900s. And so peaceful pressure is talking about his nonviolent protests and his disobedience. Okay. Number 5, what is this text mostly about? So thinking back to the whole thing from beginning to end, was it about his childhood and inspirations? Was it about his nonviolent resistance and disobedience? Was it about his influence on political leaders? Or was it about colonial rule in India? Okay, and so the answer, what it's mostly about, is his nonviolent resistance and disobedience. Question 6. Gandhi's fasts drew public attention to his cause. Newspapers and the public began to sympathize with Gandhi. They put pressure on the British government to change its ways. So it says, as used in the text, what does the word sympathize most nearly mean? Okay, so when you sympathize with somebody, you could say you're supporting them, right? So you're feeling the way they feel and you end up supporting them. Question 7, choose the answer that best completes the sentence. The British police arrested and badly beat Gandhi. He did not fight back with fists or weapons. Instead, he vowed to work peacefully to change unjust laws. Okay. And we want although. So saying, although the British police arrested him and beat him up, he didn't fight back, right? Instead, he worked peacefully. Okay. So that's where I'm going to stop. I encourage you to Google Mahatma Gandhi or Mohandas K. Gandhi and just read more about what he's all about. Okay. So that's it for this lesson.